All right, final call of the day. You're calling from an 841 area code. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Michael, hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I think that Lapaka is a tactical genius. Please take his advice. But I must address Greg. Greg, you have the intellectual agility of a soap dish. Please don't bring your Bobby Fischer circular libertarian arguments to this forum anymore. You goddamn Ayn Rand snowflake.
You know what? I love it. It sounds a
Okay.
little bit more like the actual Mandela.
Okay. Hello, Michael.
Hey.
This is Greg from the North Coast. How
Hey,
you
man.
doing?
How you doing?
Hey, I've called in under various guises because it's something I've done for 35 years, living here in the decay of the Rust Belt,
Right.
and it's just something I've done in work. I taught for a while, so I use voices there. But my point today has got to be: I want to address this. The fact that there's so much money on the right that's contributing to all of this stuff.
Yep.
There's so much money on the right that enables this.
Definitely.
And back when I did community organizing, which I actually did, and lobbying, talking to guys like Tom Ridge and John Glenn, and walking in the halls of Washington trying to get people's unemployment extended, mortgage foreclosure in state houses, and children's health insurance program. Guess what we're still working on today? All of that.
Yep.
The reason I was able to be a organizer is I was funded. I could apply for grants. All right, first of all, there were grants from the union. I admit it. The various unions enabled us to get grants.
Unions have saved this country's democracy. Yeah, your biggest grant.
Our biggest grant came from the United States Catholic Conference. All right? So from the Catholic Church, we got our biggest grant.
Right.
And that sustained us for like 4 years. I eventually had to get out of it. I had a family, and I needed to earn more money, and I also needed more, health insurance.
Right.
But we're still dealing with this. What we need are people on the left. Maybe if you sell a tequila company, or if you have enough money to invest in a basketball team, a professional basketball team, maybe you should think about taking some of that money and starting something like the Koch brothers did on the right. I mean, there's an impotency on the left to fund things anymore since the collapse of Acorn. And it's just very evident that there needs to be money on the left, a lot of money, to counteract the billions over the years, because they're using the same arguments.
Yep.
Trump sounds just like my uncle from that time. Seriously, he sounds just like him, using the same freaking arguments about the monuments, about everything. And that aggrievement politics drives so much of this, and it's fueled by the money from the Koch brothers and the Spencers and everyone else who on the right who have been brought out in the press. But if the right could expose things on the right, on the left, they would. As far as funding, all they bring up is George Soros. I mean, come on, that's all they bring
ridiculous,
up. We really need. Yeah, I know it is, but we really do need people on the left.
Yeah, but I think the only problem is when ultimately, because I know that like the left is going to need to get really serious about class and inequality issues, and I actually think of anyone who even George Soros seems like the only one who has some willingness to get like. Look, everybody needs to have real health care.
Oh, it takes a lot of guts, yeah.
Yeah, but and a contradiction of core self-interest, because when the Kochs or anybody else on the right, they could just writing off expenses to give themselves more money. And I think that basically all these other, the people on the left, like Steyer is really serious about climate change, but his vision of fighting climate change might, be totally synchronized with just kind of general centrist bullshit, which won't implicate, because ultimately real left politics implicates, like, no matter how you got it, no matter what you did, no single person should hoard that type of money. It just doesn't make sense.
It always was. The left politics has always been a reaction to that. I mean, that's what brought us unions in the 20s and the 30s. That's what the reaction of the civil rights movement was really about. Give us the ability to have some affect change and earn money, and be part of that. So, yeah, until the left figures out a way to fund it, we're going to be struggling against this organized chaos that they're trying to create. You know, so thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you.
Really make my day when you appreciate some of those characters. I'll talk to you
love
soon.
it.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos